What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have got some new stats in for Marvel's Avengers that are, well, quite interesting or quite surprising to say the least. Now, I also want to talk about the DLC content, as recently I've been seeing a lot of fans be in a position where they feel they're not really feeling the current DLC lineup will really cut things in the sense of the longevity in this game. You know, as we're all saying, reviving the game and so forth, a lot of people are kind of starting to feel doubt, and these are the people that genuinely were, you know, very supportive of this in the beginning, I guess. Now, on top of that as well, we're going to be talking about all of that stuff alongside the sales and all that good stuff, so let's try and crush 6 likes and click that big red subscribe button below if you have not already. So, first off, all the stats, like I said, are in, and the number comes in at a whopping 2.2 million copies that was sold digitally in September, which interestingly enough is the second biggest launch, I believe, for Square Enix. So on Square Enix's side, this is great. This is great news, right, as a whole, because I think the one that sold the most was Final Fantasy, the remake, or something along those lines anyway. So having this being, you know, the number 2 spot is good, but it's still the Avengers, so that could have easily been that number 1 spot. Now, it more or less comes in just below Spider-Man PS4, but the difference is, of course, you know, Spider-Man PS4 was literally on the PlayStation 4 only. So going on the assumption that that game would have been a cross-platform game, so available on the Xbox, available on the PC as well, we would have seen a crazy number. Like, it would have been well over 6 or 7 million without a single doubt, and that's just a fact, right? We all know that Insomniac nailed it with that game, and that game was extremely popular. So the question now really boils down to, is this worrying or is it not? Now, I don't know how much a game like this would have cost to make. I wouldn't even like to give a rough idea on a budget, because I personally feel I would be way off, right? But you can do the math going on the assumption that a game is like $60 for a standard edition, etc, etc. You just times that by 2.2 million copies. You know they've made a lot of money in that sense, but of course you have to take into consideration how much the game actually costs to begin with, right? So that I don't know, so if you have any ideas on how much it did cost, let me know in the comments below. That would definitely be something interesting to see. However, I do think that with the extreme lack of marketing this game had, especially prior to launch, which was safe to say was the most crucial moment, right? I guess that 2.2 million number is not really bad at all, considering, like I said, the marketing was, let's be honest, completely off. So that, of course, is okay, right? So now people are saying that this is the biggest player drop in gaming history, going on the basis that we have that 2.2 million number, right? Now, again, I don't know the stats with other games, right? But technically, no, because everyone loved the story and only dropped out after the story was done, right? And of course we know their purpose was Avengers Initiative, but that definitely didn't go well at all, right? And that's what we're in the process of essentially reviving, because if the game had that new Game Plus mode and the campaign was replayable, I genuinely think that'd still be quite, you know, a decent player base at this moment in time, being completely honest, because the story was flawless, let's be completely honest. But again, that's something completely different. So now, all we have is, with all this info, can the DLC characters save this game, or is it too late? Now, one worry that I do have is that now with the next gen version delayed for this game, and all of the other superhero games coming out and creeping up on us as well, I mean, the final 2 big launches of this year, of course, is going to be Spider-Man and Cyberpunk. Like, in terms of games going ahead each other, those are games that are going to be going ahead each other, right? But again, they're 2 completely different genres of video games, but nonetheless, they're going to be the 2 biggest drops of this year and the final, right? So now I guess that's going to kind of push Avengers to the side. Again, with the new gen consoles coming out as well, you can still play this game on new gen consoles, but just the current version we have. So again, we've been saying that, you know, in the future, we know with the delay for the next gen version that essentially I guess it's like they're in a process of just redesigning everything for the next gen console, just so we do actually feel like we got a brand new game with a dramatic difference. Honestly, I think that's why it was delayed to begin with, and I would stand by that 100%. There's absolutely no other reason that I think they would have delayed that for, right? Besides, of course, the current climate and the work conditions, but I feel like that's still something completely separate. But here's the thing, right? And this is a big but, okay? A big but here is minus Kate Bishop's DLC. If they get Hawkeye and Black Panther right, in the sense of the new add-ons in the game are just reskinned, right? If they're not reskinned, should I say, then yes, it will absolutely 100% save this game. But these characters need to come in as brand new characters with brand new content with them, not just a brand new character with a load of reskin content. If that is the case, then no, it's not going to save this game. I agree with that, it won't save it, but if it does come with something fresh, then yes, absolutely, 100%, it will start to save this game. So I disagree with the fact that it's not savable with the DLC characters. Now, of course, we are going to find out a lot more, at least get a rough idea, should I say, on how the DLCs work once Kate Bishop's drops. And then again, considering they delayed it, I'm guessing it's because they know that, you know, we don't just want a new character with reskin missions, we want a new character with new content. At least that's what I'm hoping anyway, and that's why I'm assuming they did do the delay. But honestly, that's all it really boils down to. And as a big fan of this series, and even seeing those numbers, right, I mean, again, you have to really weigh out what the cost would have been of the game, but as far as like a business perspective goes, again, for Square Enix it's good, but there was absolutely no reason why this could have not been that #1 game to sell the most copies. It's the Avengers. How does it come second? I absolutely have no idea, but nonetheless, I mean, the devs know they got my full support. It's just I still feel the DLCs have to be like new. It has to feel like a new game almost, right? Every time a DLC character drops, you have to feel like you're going into the game again with this free downloadable content, getting something refreshing. You can't just go ahead and, you know, do the same missions that we have now just with like Black Panther or Hawkeye or whatever character it may be. Like, yes, it would be fun to still play these characters, but no, it won't be fun for a DLC perspective. But we know that the DLC are going to have their separate storylines as well, and they're going to have different cutscenes as well, like in the main story of the game, and that is what they've done well. So that stuff is exciting, and that's the only reason to really keep this game fun, and for you to keep the game in the sense of, you know, still actually go ahead and play it when this new content drops. Now, on top of that, we do know Phil did say recently, I believe today actually, on Reddit, that they're still working on the upgrade with Jarvis as well, and when they drop the update with Jarvis on just genuinely how annoying he is in the game, that hopefully it's going to come with the ping system as well. So there's a few new things coming in the game, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I guess in this moment in time, we're now going through that dry period, but here's to hoping that they don't just keep us in the dark and we still need that war table. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video here. Subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.